What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, latest and updates, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down slightly, 0.82% pre-market. Nothing overly crazy, just piggybacking off the broader market's fear, because overnight there was a couple things, tariff related, of course, that's causing some uncertainty. So looks like the states did hit China with a additional tariff, so raising it to 245%. So obviously not the greatest. And then you did have the states as well banning the H20 chips to China. So again, that's hitting the tech sector. Lucid is just kind of being a casualty of the broader market, unfortunately. But there was some optimism that did happen or come out this morning, and that was this. So China signals willingness for trade talks if US shows respect. So with obviously us heading into a long weekend, it is fair to assume that the market will really take this and run with it. So you might be seeing a lot of stocks such as Lucid and many others move higher over the next day, as people assume that there's going to be some sort of resolution between the two. And in reality, it's fair to assume that both countries won't be able to kind of sustain the level of growth that they are used to if these tariffs do continue. So again, you have all of that. One thing I do want to bring up about yesterday. So there was a new rating that came out from John Murphy, Bank of America, $1 sell. Reiterated that. So I think the only thing he added to his kind of explanation for this rating from his last one was just how Lucid is burning through a lot of cash, and all these tariffs are going to slow the general demand. So that's kind of their viewpoint. Bank of America, on a side note, has been very doom and gloomish for a while now, so you have to take that into consideration. But for those investors that have maybe only got into Lucid over the last year, you wouldn't really understand what Lucid has stated in the past. So there was one thing that really did spook the market, because as soon as the market opened, it was already factoring in that $1 rating. This right here, if you want to call it as PTSD, it legitimately is people hearing similar type of scenarios. So when it comes down to this, so it does show that this was said by Derek Jenkins. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world that can affect that timeline, but currently we are on track. So a lot of bullish articles are coming out saying that they are on track and so forth, whereas technically, I agree with Derek that yes, the tariffs and everything, it's a very crappy scenario and is causing a lot of uncertainty. But coming from an investor standpoint that's looking at targets, kind of release dates and things like that, we don't really care. So you have ample time to ensure all your supply chain is there to ensure that obviously the rollout of the midsize is flawless. So in here it's just uncertainty, and it's just wording. That's how it is stated. So I think just a lot of Lucid's executives need to realize that yes, he didn't say anything that is incorrect, but he did add a certain level of uncertainty. And this is exactly what happened with the Gravity, because for those of you that don't know, Gravity was supposed to be out late 2023, but they said those exact same type of scenarios, that because of supply chain due to COVID, they were unable to do that. So it did get pushed back one whole year. That is something that the market clearly does not want to happen with that midsize. And I get it. Like, technically I might be jumping to conclusions and reading in between the lines so much, but that's what investors do with Lucid, because Lucid has done this quite a lot. And so they want to ensure going forward, everything is flawless. Based on Mark's recent interview, it sounds as though that everything is accessible to the state. So obviously Lucid won't really be hitting or getting hit with a lot of those tariffs. Supply chain seems to be under kind of wraps for the most part, so everything seems to be good. So there's no reason to add kind of uncertainty in the broader market. So let me know your general thoughts on that. But in my opinion, I think this level of just grayness, the wording, is what prompted this to go down. But Based on shorts so far pre-market, they are increasing 1.27 million shares. So they're definitely trying to suppress and push Lucid down. 23.08% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 280.52 million shares overall are being shorted. Based on the options, you are seeing a consensus for it to be roughly around that 250. That's the bulls. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250. So clearly that's a strong kind of pivot. Based on this right now, with that 242 trading between this R1 and the pivot, 255 is going to be a key level to really get above based on the fib levels. 233 will be a strong support. In my opinion, like I said, I think the market will be buying Lucid and many other stocks up because of this optimism. Because yeah, honestly, both countries, China and the States, are just now causing excessive damage to themselves, not really benefiting anyone. So it might as well just kind of take a step back. So I don't know, that's just my viewpoint. So I think you might be seeing Lucid possibly move higher. Again, maybe we'll wait and see. As far as on this, so the 50-day moving average is a very big deal for Lucid, and that is sitting at $2.51. So that's going to be another key point to really get over, at least in the short term. ALMA is at $2.48. So yeah, I think Lucid just needs to gain a little bit of momentum over the last several trading days, though, as I've shared with you. It did do very well in comparison to the broader market. So I think today and maybe even yesterday was a little bit of a cooling off period. So that happens from time to time. But if you believe in Lucid bigger picture, take advantage, buy, do what you need to do. But as what Peter did really stress, they really need to ensure that the midsize is flawlessly out on time. And yeah, because this is going to be the path to profitability, is that midsize. And I think they have stated it's going to be roughly around that 50,000 mark. So yeah, I think just bigger and better things are coming for Lucid. They just need to kind of hit the marks. That is it. It's now do or die time. They just need to get the damn job done. And then Lucid stock price will move up accordingly. So let me know your general thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.